Yo, what's up, guys? We went undefeated today. Hi. Yeah. What's up? We went undefeated with water again. With water statue again. 5 rounds. Round 1 played against Ryziel Malice. Round 1 I played against Malice. Round 2 I played against Mitsurgi Ryziel. Round 3 I played against Pure Ryziel. Round 4 I played against Crystal Beast FDK. And then that was round 4. Then round 5 I played against Ryziel Fiendsmith. And yeah, so bunch of rounds, bunch of content, bunch of feature matches to go over, a lot to go over. So I noticed that my biggest issues is like my technical play in the beginning of the day is always lacking, and then that kind of builds up throughout the day, and I start to kind of get better. But yeah, I really got to work on those early runs. But yeah, we'll just get into the list here. All right, we are here. Yeah, let's get into this list. So I guess a couple notes here. Okay, so first, my goal is not make this an hour, 100%. Also, I played a 40 card list today again. I played the same concept of a list. I just tried to evolve it and put in some and play some test cards to kind of basically play with the ratios, play with flexibility cards, and yeah, we'll just get into it. So getting into Atlanteans, 3 Prince as normal, 1 infantry. This card's a lot more important now because I realized that when you're setting up the statue but protection combo, it's actually a lot easier to just go for infantry in hand, and does the exact same thing as trying to get Prince in hand plus Poseidon and Engrave. That this is just way easier, and I didn't pick that up until a couple rounds into the day. But yeah, so infantry has even more importance over here. I played Triple Shrine because I'm still playing the Deep Sea King build. I did see that there was a top 64 list for water that played one of this, and he didn't play Deep Sea King, and it was very interesting. He played Diva. Diva is actually the next route I'm playing with, I think. But yeah, so I don't know about becoming Deep Sea King. Deep Sea King seems was very strong for me today, as it always is. So I don't know. Maybe it's different play styles, but I still find Deep Sea King pretty important. And then triple Dragoons. So those are the Atlanteans. I'm sorry. Also double Poseidra. I sided the third Poseidra because I wanted to test a different level 7 slot. Because what this basically is, it's basically like a level 7. It's an extender. It's something you search off a shrine, and so I replaced the third copy of this with a different flex spot that we'll get into later in the profile. But yeah, Poseidra is still crazy. I still open 2 of these a couple times a day. But yeah, definitely always at least playing 2 Poseidras 100% because the follow-up is needed for those. Next we get into the Mermails. This is definitely just become very, very still and standard at this point. I'm not looking at any of the extenders currently, just maxing out on the good Mermails, the starter. So yeah, 3 squad, amazing. I still like Pike. I also like Pike because it does something similar as Diva would, which is it does play well with Droplet, which is I found it very important with Pike as well. I don't think it came up too often. It didn't come up today, but in theory it does. And yeah, so I played 3 Pike also because the Deep Sea King build, and then I played 3 Teus, as Teus is the best starter extender of the deck, outside of Prince, obviously. And then now we get into some of our flexibility waters. So for level 7s, I have Deep Sea King. Still playing Deep Sea King. Still liked it. Played the 1 Ran. Now this replaced the third Poseidra, as I wanted basically another option to go into. If anything, mostly it was for Fluros. I wanted to see the Ran, and I figured if I play Ran, then it's more likely I can go double level 10 synchro plays, so you can kind of set up a Gamir Chinning combo, and that works pretty well together because the Gamir can banish something, and that will trigger the Chinning to banish. So I tried that out today. Honestly, the Ran, a lot of this, I'm gonna have to go back in my matches and watch stuff over and see how everything played out. But for the most part, I think Ran was fine. I don't think it was amazing. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it stuck out to me. But honestly, I won't really know until I look back at the matches. Next round, I'm level 7 here. I played Title. I want to try Title out as my first impression of wanting to play Title was it was actually the 3rd Minstrel. So I went down to 2 Minstrel because I didn't want to clump on multiple Minstrels I potentially had. I potentially could playing triple Minstrel. It's the same logic for Poseidra as well. You don't want to max out on the Poseidras or Minstrels because they are searchable, and so you might as well have a flexible spot that still does the same thing. So Ran still kind of does the same thing as Poseidra. Still does the same thing as Poseidra, which is discard a card, summon. Doesn't do anything on its first turn, but it does set up a level 10 synchro. And then it's kind of the same thing here where Title does a very similar role of Minstrel, where the responsibility of Minstrel, yes, to snipe the hand and hit the nib or hit the hand trap, but mainly banish a card for statue. But what else here is Title still acts as it still offers the same utility as Minstrel, which it basically puts a statue online. And so the idea is that if you open Title, then you can go Title, discard a water, especially under Droll. You can discard any water for your hand. It'll trigger your squad and your Dragoons just like Minstrel would, and then you dump the statue rather than banishing a card to then summon the statue later in the turn compared to Minstrel. So I wanted to try that out, and I figured it's a solid flex spot to send off the Atlantean Dragon for the extra deck. So because you can summon it back, and then just the fact that it's a floater, the fact that it can be an extender, seemed pretty cool. The Title, definitely, so Ram was definitely better than Title. The couple times I did see Title, I don't think it was particularly that great, although I think it kind of did get me to play once, but I don't think it ever mattered. So I don't think Title was actually that strong, and it felt like the most awkward piece of my puzzle that was my deck. And actually I started decided out in the very last match. I started deciding this out because I just felt like it doesn't really do anything for your deck. It's like a worse Minstrel almost because it doesn't have the hand knowledge, and you really never really need the extender. So I don't know how I feel about Title. It might stay, it might go. Again, I have to watch back my matches to like really like dial in on that. And then yeah, so I played the Gluttonous. I don't know what it's called. We're gonna call him Gluttonous. Yeah, so Gluttonous, or Baby Croc as I like to call him. Baby Croc. This was the fish target I wanted to play in addition to the 3 pikes, and I wanted to play this last locals. This card actually. While it is not the same, it technically replaced the 1-for-1 for my last list, as I just had to accept that I was giving up an extender and a starter for a brick of some sorts. But what I really like about this card is that basically, so the other fish targets I was looking at for the Deep Sea King to go into the Donna a lot more freely was playing the Butterfly Fish and Harpooner, because you could use those two to make a Synchro 7. Well, what Baby Croc does is it basically solves both those problems in one. Instead of having to play Harpooner, which is a level 4 tuner, and then Butterfly Fish was a level 3 non-tuner, you just play the Baby Croc, and now you can use this, sync it off with the pike, go into your Donna. It's a lot more free, and it saves your extra deck monsters for a lot more like options. Like, so if you're playing through hand traps to get to the line, it's also a lot more forgiving. And then it is a decent extender where a couple times I actually was summoning waters from my grave. You'll summon level 3s, summon level 4s. They didn't do anything, but they apply bodies, so you can link off and keep other cards on field. So I did like that. This card helps keep your Tri on field, so you can keep the attack and defense boost for your barrier. And then I still played the one barrier. Barrier was insane. I locked people out of playing. You guys will see. It is crazy. Also, I got hand trapped to death in the final match in game 1, and I normal summoned statue, and I had him under king. Through Fluoros, through getting a couple hand trapped, and I ended up winning it out because I just opened it. Because if you open statue, this is your M board right here. So the fact that you just open it, it's actually amazing to open that card, especially if you have like the free normal summon. Even if you don't, you just discard it, you summon it back later in the turn. So this is a very flexible card. I technically might want to miss Moulin, because there are ways to play around this card that people on my locals are starting to figure out. At least one player, 2 players I guess now, but yeah, so I would definitely be curious in playing Moulin as well. But if you think Moulin's better than this card, I'm just sorry that you're just behind still. And then for non-engine, I played 3 Prulia, 3 Fluoros in the main. These 2 cards replaced the Droll, as well as Callby replaced the Nib I played in my last list. And then I guess just getting the rest of the non-engine, I played 3 Droplet and 3 Impulse, which replaced like the Ash and Imperm I think I was playing. I can't exactly remember what I was playing. I think that's what it was though. So the theory behind the non-engine was I wanted, so playing 40 cards, I felt very comfortable knowing that I should be typically opening one of these when I go second, one of my Charmies. I would play 3 Fluoros if I had 3 Fluoros. If I did, I'd actually probably just play 41 and keep the Callbite in. Maybe not. Well, if I had 3 Fluoros, this would have been in the side deck. But hindsight after the locals, Callbite was insane. I saw it a couple times today, and it just blows out of the water. Also, it's an out for a shifter. So like the idea is that you lose the Ash Blossoms to deal with turn 1 Charmies. You gain the Callby, as well as you gain just having more cards that all kind of function together and a lot more stronger than if you were open a Charmy to Droll. Opening double Charmy is just way better. I guess not all the time, but I was preparing for specific matchups, being Ryziel, Fiendsmith, Malice. Especially that's why these are here. These are here to respect Malice, and that's why the triple impulses are here. They are also here to respect a Malice, as well as the fact that Impulse to hit the Mitsurugi ritual spell, which is really important. It hits Mallet, Iris and Mouse, and it does work a little bit against Ryziel because depending on what your hand is, Impulse is a little bit stronger. Like if you open Prulia Impulse and they go and like you discard Prulia and they go normal ice, you can Impulse the ice and then force them to summon again from hand. Just force them to keep summoning so you can draw cards. And the whole idea is that the Charmies will eventually draw you into your droplets. If you draw into your droplets and you don't care what the Ryziel board does, that you'll just have these to be able to clear the Dweller. And I do put respect on Dweller. And other generic onboard pieces that the droplet basically saves the day. It deals with other cards like the Griffin Lock, so that's really cool too. And yeah, I just figured I only wanted to play the most impactful hand traps. I'd say the only one I missed from my main deck was maybe 3 Ash. Maybe 3 Ash still needs to find its way in here. Maybe I need to up the non-engine, but all this felt pretty strong. I definitely was never upset with seeing any of these non-engine. Opening all of it was pretty good. Obviously, you don't want to open the Charmies when you're going first. But another really cool thing about droplets is that if you can't go the full statue line to where you can set a battle protection for it, but if you open droplet, you're still kind of fine because you just wait till the damage step. So even if you just normal statue set droplet pass, like you're living that turn because they're gonna go damage step. You're gonna droplet anything for cost, and then you're just gonna kill their monster, and then you have another free turn to go. And I did do that today, and it's pretty rock solid. But yeah, so this was my non-engine, and I really liked it. This was a really good fit. I did miss the ashes. I cited the ashes because I knew they were important, and I would like to fit those in. Maybe I cut down on the engine for them, or maybe I finally go above 40 now that I'm starting to get a better idea of my deck and how it's performing. But yeah, that was it. That was a 40 card list. I did not miss Imperm. Imperm can go. That card's not doing that great right now. And I did not miss Nib. I did not. I did against my Mitsurugi matchup. I wish I had Droll, but I just had other cards instead, so it's fine. But yeah. So that is the list. It was pretty strong. Next, we're going to the extra deck. Played one Mermail King, one Coral, one Lacia. I cut Zealantis. That card's bogus. Get it out of here. Not good. I played one Atlantean Dragon, one Yugioh, one Trite. I think you need to play all of these. I mean, you don't need the Yugioh, but it comes up in very niche scenarios. I'm sorry, this is what I get for flinging my cards everywhere. But yeah, so these are solid. You don't really need to max them out. I never missed multiple copies, so that was fine. Played one Kraken, one Dweller for the flex spot rank 4s. These never came up today, but they're situational, and they do come up, so it's good to have them when they do, and I just respect the fact that either one of those cards will come up in random scenarios. And then I played Double Bahamut, Double Toad. We're always playing Double Bahamut, Double Toad. And then I played for Synchros, Chinning, Gamir, and Donna. So I cut... what did I cut? Oh, I cut Zealantis for the Gamir. These two were really strong, and honestly, the Gamir wasn't really needed. The Gamir never, I think I made it a couple times today, but it never actually came up. But it is supposed to be good into Ryziel if you're able to get the effect off, because it just provides protection from Detonator as well as Malice, which is probably the main reason I wanted to play it, because if you summon this, then you can activate its effect, and then your monsters can no longer be banished by their spot removal effects. So that is why I play Gamir, and so maybe it's still worth the spot. The only card I'm considering right now is if I continue to play Deep Sea King, I think I want to play Abyss Keeper with the link 2 that summons Deep Sea King from your hand. It also makes opening multiple Pike and Prince less bad as well. So that might be the last card I need to fit in this extra deck. And honestly, as I look to make room for that, it's probably between one of these 4 cards. I think everything else is to say. I don't want to get rid of the Yugioh. So these are all the situational cards in the extra deck. I probably have to respect the fact that Dweller is strong, but then Kraken also helps with the lock. It's very hard to say. I think one of these synchros need to go. Maybe it just has to be Chenning. It's tough though. It's very hard to say. Because Chenning is also really good because if you can't set up, it's the same logic where if you can't set up battle protection for your statue, then if you can end on a level 10 synchro plus statue, you can have Shrine banished in the graveyard to trigger the Chenning that way to then banish the monsters they're trying to attack your statue with and then kill on the next turn. So that was the extra deck. And then for the side deck, I played 3 Lancia, rock solid. I opened it, and it was a good card. I played the one Meowscles because I only have one, and I put it in a couple times a day. Didn't see it. I hope to see it one day. And then I played triple Ash. When it came to Ash Blossom, I basically sided in either just about all 3, just at least 2 copies, or sometimes 3 when I go first, so I can hit the Charmies, and then versus I guess honestly, almost every deck today, I think I did just put in all 3 when going second. I think my main reasoning for not really wanting to main these, as much as I do want to main these, was just that I want to keep the non-engine at 12. I want to keep my deck consistent, and with that, I had to accept that there was some hand trap that couldn't be my main deck, and I just chose basically the charm. I basically chose Fluoros over the Ash Blossoms because I don't want to brick on. I want to have the Perulos in my main deck because they're a water and their discard outlet. But then the Fluoros also deals, with so much. So very hard to say. I think I would like to fit these in some regard. Maybe I do move some of the Charmies to the side deck. Hard to say at this point, but yeah, Ash was very good today. And then I played Shifter and Droll for crossout targets. Technically, you should not need Nib here. Although that was a bet I decided to take. You should not need Nib here because you should be able to Minstrel the Nib. And like the real problem cards are Shifter and Droll. Obviously, Droll's not that bad, but if your opponent has Droll Nib, that is a problem, and so crossout will help with that. And then getting, I did get impermed a couple times today where I opened crossout and then couldn't hit the imperm. That happens, is whatever. This deck plays through imperm, honestly, not that bad. So it's mainly cards like Ash Blossom, Stomping Shrine, the Charmies, Droll, and Shifter that are the other real problem cards. Everything else you can kind of play around, and they're either they're too soft to like really stop you, or it's Nib and you just have to respect it and eventually minstrel it. Then I played 2 XE Encores. The only reason I didn't play 3 was because I wanted to still play the 3 Poseidras, so I sided the 3rd one. And I figured, with the Charmies and the fact that I'll have 3 droplets and 2 Encore, there should be no issue with me opening one or drawing into one. So I figured that was fine. And yeah, they never really came up today. I actually never had to deal. I don't think I ever actually had to deal with a Dweller today. So that'll be something I'll need to go back and watch as well. To see how that played out. But yeah, side deck was fine. I don't know. I don't like putting engine in the side deck. So like this almost feels like it just needs to go. I just need to accept and just play 2 or just main the 3 and just pick one. The Encores, you have to be here. They have to be here. They have to be here to respect the problem cards. The crossout package. I can't see myself wanting to play Thrust over crossout, because I think if you go full combo, you're just winning. And the fact that and Thrust doesn't really guarantee you like that, like crossout does. And your deck should be consistent enough to where you should be opening playable if you're ever opening crossout, because you shouldn't be siding out engine to put in the crossout in the targets. So you should have the same amount of number of engine and non-engine even when you're playing crossout, which I always did today. Ashes were good. I want to see it. Haven't seen it yet. And then yeah, 3 Lancia. So that is the deck. Yeah, undefeated feature matches will be coming. Statue is the best way to play water. I mean, there are some Alsa statues, to be honest, and I almost don't even want to like put them out there yet because I don't want people to know. But there are certain outs to this card that are definitely hidden at the moment. Not real outs. It's more like there are hand traps that people could play for this card, but they're just not. Not yet, at least, and it wouldn't be very good. And the hand traps that you would use to stop this, that was the reason that I would actually want to maybe play Mulan again, because if you do have 2 bombs, like a Mulan bomb and a statue bomb, then there's absolutely no way you're losing those games if you resolve both those cards. But then I feel like if I play statue and I play Mulan, then I'm playing a very considerable amount of bricks at that point, because I'm playing this, and if I'm playing Baby Croc plus non-engine, then maybe at that point I do have to up the deck count and maybe go back to playing like 1-for-1 and Deep Sea Aria to help with that consistency. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna play this list or even play Statue for next week's locals. I might still play Statue. I'd like to, but I think I'm very interested in looking into like Deep Sea Diva and how that card plays with the current format, because I'm definitely interested in seeing what Diva could do. Diva seems really strong, honestly. Being a 1-card starter is crazy. And so yeah, I'm definitely excited to keep innovating water and trying to find different ways to play it. I'm very happy with the statue list. The statue's honestly going crazy. And yeah, all right, that's it. I'm done. Who would have thought? Thanks guys for watching. I'll have a link for the Discord in the description. Oh, guys, before you go, I hope someone's still here. I got hit with a crazy ruling today, and I need to confirm this. I need some hard evidence from you guys that if this is how this works or not. So in my finals, I go normal Prince, and I go effective Prince. I send infantry for cost, and he chains Solemn Strike. He Solemn Strikes my Prince, so it dies, and then I attempt to activate infantry, but he says I cannot activate infantry because Solemn Strike negated the activation of Prince. Henceforth, infantry was since infantry was sent to activate a water effect. Since that water effect was never activated, that infantry will no longer activate to pop a card. And so the same would go for squad or dragoons. So I need some confirmation on that because that sounded insane. Part of me, it makes sense. I understand the logic. I understand the wording. Other part of me is like, but it was sent for cost to activate the effect. It was already sent. Why is it not triggering? I don't know. So please, if you guys are still here by the end of this video, if you guys know anything about this, please let me know, because that's definitely important for future reference, because that definitely changes how I want to build my side deck if that's truly the case. And I need like hard evidence, like an official ruling or an official link. Please help me out because I have no idea. All right, that is it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll get into feature matches starting Tuesday. Let's get it. Water best deck, statue best card. Moo, you're out. Statue, you're in. Yeah, that's it. Peace.